Welcome to TradeRadio.com.
95th Air Mobile Air Assault,
back from holiday.
57th Motorized
Here's I did not
Rifle,
miss much again.
503 Marine Battalion, 4th Tank Brigade, 79th Air Mobile Air Assault, 128th Brigade, 58th Motorized Rifle, and a host of territorial and defense brigades located near Lysychansk and several of the nets to include 17th Tank Brigade as well. So a very, very large component of the Ukrainian military has been dedicated to this eastern Donbass area for defensive operations, and the Ukrainians continue to try and hold the line on the opposite bank of the Donetsk River while they continue to hold patches of territory on that western bank of the Donetsk River, and the Russians continue to mount limited maneuver operations, especially in areas such as Izum, and then obviously near Popasna as well. And you can kind of see this operation continuing. It is relentless in terms of the tempo of operations by Russian forces and the use of a lot of its heavy artillery. We're also seeing, starting to see the deployment of more and more Western equipment, namely the M777 155mm howitzer being deployed. And again, as I talked about before, is this a new capability that gives something the Ukrainians that we currently do not possess? Not really. I would say the quality of the M777 surpasses that of a lot of the pre-Soviet equipment that the Russians are using or the Ukrainians are using. Based on my experience, the capabilities are relatively the same. But the timing and the deployment of that capability is of much higher quality. The M777 has been digitized and has the ability to put steel on target very, very rapidly. It has a fairly high level of ease of use, and more importantly, the manufacturing technology that is put into these systems, be it the HIMARS, be it the M777, and specifically the munitions that are being used in the systems traditionally are more superior to that of the Russian manufacturing. Now, obviously, the Russians continue to deploy a lot of systems in mass and in quantity, as most of you know of this phrase. Quantity has a quality all of its own. And not only that, the big issue for the Ukrainian military, they may get these systems, the HIMARS, the M777, but the concept of having to continually supply these systems with Western-made, manufactured, high precision to manufacture the ammunition for these systems. So they're having to rely on the Western North Atlantic Treaty Organization, United States, United Kingdom, Romania, Poland, to deliver these systems and then to safely transverse Ukraine and find these systems in the east of the Dnieper River, which is becoming more and more challenging for Ukrainian forces. So is this going to be a game changer, as people often say, in terms of the deployment of some of these systems? And I would say at this point, no, it's not. They are not being delivered in the numbers that would change the dynamic on the ground that we are seeing in this ongoing conflict. The Ukrainians are going to have to receive many, many more systems. They're going to have to deploy these systems not in the 10s and 20s, but in quite literally in the hundreds, in order for the Ukrainians to prosecute a successful counter-operation. Obviously, they have to train batteries and battalions in the use of these systems, equip these systems, and then also provide these units and systems with an abundance of munitions while being continually harried and attacked by long-range Russian fires. That includes tactical air assets, that includes long-range, multiple launch rocket systems, that includes the use of cruise missiles and a host of other systems that make it increasingly more difficult for the Ukrainians to supply these forces, especially here in the eastern Donbass. Now, to try to alleviate a lot of this pressure that we're seeing in the eastern Donbass, we're seeing operations by the Ukrainians in other areas, and I'll try to jump over to that real quick and see if it changed here. And yet we are good. And here in Kherson, we have continued to see Ukrainian forces continue to prosecute limited offensive operations in the direction of Kherson. And in fact, we've started to see some Russian forces that were more recently deployed in the center section towards Zaporizhia have been redeployed towards Kherson to counter some of these Ukrainian limited offensive operations. We also believe that the Ukrainians are starting to employ a lot of these newer systems, such as the 155mm howitzer, and quite possibly the HIMARS, among some other more clandestine systems that have not been reported as of yet, that are being delivered to Ukrainian forces. An example of that would be the Brimstone, and quite possibly some air defense systems that have been delivered to the Ukrainian military as well. But again, these systems are not being deployed in numbers that would really change the dynamic on the ground. The Ukrainians continue. The vast amount of Ukrainian equipment that is being used is a former Soviet manufacturer or locally upgraded Ukrainian systems that are based a lot on Russian or former Soviet designs. And we don't really know what that number is in terms of Western adoption of equipment by the Ukrainian military. We don't know what that is, but probably very, very limited, and a few battalions that are being deployed. And it's also obviously the propaganda effect is also being used as well, that may make it seem like the Ukrainians are using more Western equipment than in all probability they actually are. Now, that's not to say that we will not continue to see the inflows of a lot of this Western equipment, including HIMARS, 155, M777s being deployed, but more importantly, will the